We have played with gangs for far too long. We have treated them as if they were Robin Hoods. Communities have been too sympathetic to them. Communities have given them succor and protection.
I'm wondering what type of disease, what type of evil spirit I take over our country, Jamaica. We know Jamaica is good for land, wood and water. We know Jamaica is great for great vibes, the energy, turn up, good food. You understand? Great athletes. Now, me wonder, when since Jamaica becomes a terrorist country?
We must use this as an opportunity to draw the line finally in the sand and to separate the gang. The gangs are not merely youngsters who are poor and dispossessed. If you have that view, you are under a disillusion. You're misguided. The gangs are, some of them, second and third generation, meaning that they have transitioned from just street level operations to higher level coordinated activities to transnational, and some of them have transitioned into business. The gangs are organized economic enterprises. They parade as if they are in the community to protect you, but no, that's not what they're there for. They are there to use your community as cover to carry out illegal activities and to make profit from it. They are there to organize violence.
Where the people of Jamaica can have fun in peace. The people in Jamaica cannot walk in peace without after thinking when their time is gonna come. Now imagine you leave your house, decided that you're gonna play some bingo with some family and some friends, and turn around thinking that you're gonna win, you're gonna carry home a victory for your family, to provide for your little one, to provide for yourself, to find a way out for the next day, and all of a sudden you don't make it back home. No, these terrorists that have been plaguing the country have shot over 17 to 18 people. 8 lost their life, included a little baby. Now this break my heart. This break my heart. When me hear and see the pictures and videos, people, me nah hide and tell you no. When me say, my heart shattered, me I tell you the God Almighty truth. We have never witnessed things like these in our country, and this cannot continue.
I want the criminals who are involved in this to take my words very seriously. I am personally looking on all areas of the organization to ensure that all the resources necessary from this, whether it is the financing, whether it is the international cooperation, whether it is the legislative support, will be made available to the security forces to pursue this relentlessly. They must either meet a judge or meet their maker, whichever they choose.
This will not continue. Now, the Prime Minister have launched an investigation alongside with the law enforcement of Jamaica to bring these culprits, these demonic people to justice. Now, it's alleged that there are 2 gangs they have been fighting for a while now. You understand what I mean? It's a rival thing for a while now. Now, one of the Don is serving a life sentence for a triple murder, Azan. And the other one, Jeremy, is abroad. Now, it's alleged that Jeremy has been sponsoring his cliques a lot of guns. You understand? He is the one funding them. There are over 30-something names that have been submitted to the US government to get these perpetrators into custody because they are connected to the murder of these 8 people, including the baby. Now, the Prime Minister have made it clear to the justice system, whatever you have to do to bring these perpetrators to justice, do it. And I support the Prime Minister 100%. I heard a lot of people been complaining and said, but Mr. Prime Minister, when you send out this act, what you think so the police them are gonna do? No, the police them are gonna brutalize and murder people. Listen to me now. You see me, I want me to push violence. You understand? But if you commit the crime, you have to do the time. Them have a sign for say you live by the gun, you shall die by the gun. You live by the sword, you shall die by the sword. We don't need them perpetrators here to go into custody for you eat taxpayers' dollars. Them not deserve that.
I stand here today with firm resolve that everyone, and I mean everyone, who was in any way involved in this incident will be brought to justice. I want to make that absolutely clear. It is a criminal act. It is against our laws. The intention was not only to harm the victims. This act is designed to spread terror in the nation. So it can't be treated as ordinary criminality. There is no way that 8 persons can be killed in one incident in Jamaica and the state stands as if nothing happened. No. Every gang member, every gang will feel the full force of the state today. This must never happen again in Jamaica. No stone will be left unturned. I want to give the Jamaican people the reassurance that your government will use this as the opportunity to deal with the gangs once and for all.
You understand? Because they weren't thinking about these 8 people or these 17 people. They weren't thinking about that little baby that was on the scene. They were thinking about their own satisfaction, needs at that moment and still in this present moment. Because they're still planning to carry out more acts. You understand? Now we have seen video circulating of a young man threatening the Prime Minister and threatening Clarendon.
Yo, Batty boy wholeness. You think you can stop mass killing? Everybody in a Clarendon will go dead by next week. Or your wife next like a fool or suck your mother Batty boy and Joe wholeness.
I'm hoping that they find him and just do away with him. You understand? We are not going to accept any terrorists in our country. We're not going to accept any terrorists in our country, and I repeat it over and over. No, I am asking every single citizen, every single mother and father, auntie, nephew, cousin that knows that your son, your cousin, your uncle, your niece and nephew that is involved in these gangs need to turn them over to the justice system, because one day you will also be the victim. The police, they cannot do it alone. The government cannot do it alone. You as a citizen, as a resident of Cherillian, need to make sure that you give the police every single information possible. Now, another thing when I notice, when I realize there is an article out that they're going to install cameras in the prison. Now, let me ask a question. There was no camera in the prison from the get-go? And if there was not, why? When we have multiple criminals in there, when we know that most of these criminals inside are sending out hits out here in the opening, why are we giving them the privilege like that? Mr. Prime Minister, I urge you, sir, to start the cleanup from the head. I want to mean from the head, Mr. Prime Minister, because you have a lot of politicians that is involved in this brutal tragedy. They may not send the hit, but they are providing weapons also. They are encouraging these gangs in these areas. They are paying them to keep the people in control on their behalf. So, Mr. Prime Minister, you need to launch some investigation from within the politician range. And you need to launch a serious investigation with the justice system because they are also a part of this. I am not saying all of them. There are some amazing police and big up on yourself. But there are a majority in the system that are hiding underneath the wings or the present of the law enforcement to carry out their dirty deeds. Most of them are the gang leaders, the dons. And they realize the smart way to carry out their deeds is to go in the law enforcement. So we need some work right there to my Prime Minister. You understand? Another thing, we need to work on the prison system much better. We need to bring in some things within the prison system to help reform the prison system so we have a better rehabilitation center within the prison. The prison system too slack. There's no way cell phone should be reaching in prison. No way. They should not have that privilege. There's no way a prisoner supposed to be behind bars serving a triple murder and still able to call shots out here. That's supposed to cut, Mr. Prime Minister. So I am asking you to work on that also. Because I'm about to believe to say, you go clean up them ya done ya out of say, or them ya so-called possessed done, out of say, and that's it, And then you do strengthen or enforce certain laws within these areas and think that you're going to get it right. You're not going to get it right. No, for the people that's crying that the Prime Minister is harsh, listen to me. And listen to me good. Shut on them out. Shut on them out and cooperate with the Prime Minister law. Because if him don't do this, then you will also be the next victim, or a family or your child will be the next victim. So we need this addressed. We need this to be addressed. And the opposition need to join forces with the Prime Minister to get this done. There's no debate that the Prime Minister is using a brutal force. No debate. Because these men was using brutal force. They did actually. And it ended in a result for a mass murder, a terrorist attack on the country. We don't want our country to be known. To be known as a criminal element or a criminal country. We don't need that.